Hey, I'm WizQuicks. I want to make a one-of-a-kind pen for my friend Watt with this wood and these pen parts.
We first start with our brass piece, which is the central point of all the pen making because it connects the other bits together. So we'll mark off a bit at the top to make that square and at the bottom to give ourselves a bit more length. A bit more than the brass piece. We'll use a bandsaw to cut that little bit off and then cut to size that we need. We can keep the rest around the pen. Make sure we have the right drill bit for the brass piece. We'll square off the piece of wood that we have so we can find the centre and drill a hole. There we go. We'll use this little hole punch here. Is it a hole punch? I forgot what it's called. Put it in the comments if you know what this thing's called. Just push it down a few times and good to go. You got something for the drill to start on, like a guide. Make sure our drill piece is secure. This thing holds it straight, holds it square. Little vise. We've got to make sure the drill doesn't hit this metal. Talking to a new friend Jeff there, making sure he's okay being filmed. Funny dude, he said, "Oh, as long as I don't ruin the footage." I'm like, yeah, that's alright. There we go. Good to go. So I started filing this down a bit because I really didn't have a big enough drill piece. There we go. That's pretty good, right? But now I need to sand this off, make it rough, so that the super glue bonds a lot better. Got a bunch of my nail there too. It's a bit rough, so I sand it a bit more. Perfect. You need a bit of slide so the super glue can go in there as well. Just put a little bit on the end here. Slide it up and down, back and forth, in and out, and eventually we get glue all the way through. Slam it to the end, and you're good. I got a bit of length there at the end, but this is where I sand it off. Use the belt sander. Carefully I'm not holding it too long and making it catch on fire. As you can see, there's a bit of smoke coming off it. There we go. Now I'm flush with the brass. Now just clean up the super glue end just a little bit too. There we go. Perfect. Don't forget to use a mask when you're sanding or turning. You don't want to breathe this in. There we go. So they got the bushings there. They make sure that the 7mm rod connects flush with the wood there when you're pushing it in from the sides. So we'll tighten this little bit up here. We'll get our guide. You want that normally right in the centre, but because this tool goes a bit higher, I want it just a little bit below centre. I probably, in hindsight, could have gone a little bit lower. But that's okay. So we just want to get the ears off. I could have sanded it down a bit sort of octagonal first. Would have made it a bit easier, but it's a good way to tell if the vise isn't quite hard enough and tight enough. So I just keep trying it out, tightening it a bit more. If it catches again, I'll tighten it a bit more. Good to go now. We're chopping away those ears really easily. Which has got to be the most satisfying part. Going from the biggest piece down to the smallest. Or at least one of the most satisfying parts. Just little by little. We don't want to do too much at once and cause damage to the wood deeper in. We've got some flat bits here still, so we'll just keep going away. Keep chipping away until it's basically round. Yeah, we'll dig a bit deeper here. Nice. Still a little bit. You can see it's still a bit rough. It's because of the type of tool I'm using. So I'll change tools. That's the one I was using. Now I'll use this curved one. You see this one used a lot in wood turning. It cuts off a lot finer pieces. I'm not too worried about being perfectly straight just yet. Just bringing those edges down to the bushings, make it easier for us later. Carefully taking down some more of that wood in the centre. Now we swap to this one. Forgive me, I don't know the names of all these. Feel free to comment them in as well in the comments. Tell me what they are. I'm still learning this. It's been a lot of fun. This is my 7th pen. Try to bring it as close to the bushings as I can without going too close and chipping away any of that metal. I'm getting a really nice curve here though. It's very subtle. Just checking I'm close enough to the bushings. I can go a bit further. Good to go. Next up, we'll get rid of the guide, get out of the way, and we'll start sanding. We'll start with 150. The reason I put this on the tool, I had to change camera angles, it wasn't very good. It was a rough bit in the centre there, so I sort of worked away that with the 150, yeah, the higher grit. 180 next. The reason we use this tool is so that the lines on the sandpaper don't make lines in the wood, so it makes a more even sanding. Oh, big puff of cloud. All the dust. That's why you wear the mask. 240, then 320. $400. I sped this bit up quite a bit because it was quite repetitive and slightly less interesting than the chunkier bits, in my opinion. Next time I'll have a better camera angle when I'm doing the previous parts. If I decide to make another one. I think I might. It's pretty fun. That was a 500 and this one's a 600. Alright, good to go. Nice and smooth. It's basically polished at this point. Nice. Okay, now we use this Aussie oil, which is like a oil and a lacquer or something like that. You only need a little bit. I just use a normal tissue. No, I sprayed it on the camera. Clean that. You're so dirty. I didn't even know I was filming this bit when that happened. Edited it anyway. I love this part. I really do. So I just put this layer on pretty gently and generously. Looks very nice. And I let it dry for 5 minutes. Really soak up in the wood. And then the second layer, I'll do the same thing again, except this time I push a lot harder, so there's a lot more friction. It sort of heats up, causing the lacquer to sort of seal a lot better, or faster at least. And it makes sure that it makes sure the oil isn't like bumpy or anything either. It's right on the surface. And that's it. Now we'll just take off the vise. Off the lathe. Good to go. Very nice. Now these are the pen bits. We just assemble it here at the little pen press. Just a little lever action. Pushing those bits in. What you don't see is on the black side there's a little hole for that front of the pen to sit into. So it doesn't slip off or anything. There we go, it's all pushed in. Now we just need to unscrew the cap and put the ink in with the spring. Get rid of the wax seal first. Some more complicated pens, you can ruin them if you don't take that off first. So it's a good habit to always take that off before putting it in. Don't lose your springs. Alright, let's test it out. Nice. It's actually a bit stronger on that spring than I thought. Doesn't feel like it's going to let go. Nice. Really happy with this result. Making sure it works. Done.
The end! We got there, all in one day. This is What's New Pen. I hope he likes it. Bye!